Rob Dibble Show.
Hey, look, a pair of working legs. Dibs on these.
What? Oh, come on, Quagmire.
Joe, I said dibs.
No, you're right. You said dibs.
First Dibs question today, sponsored by Trantolo & Trantolo, your personal injury law firm. Keith and Scott, third generation of Trantolos that have been doing it in this state for over 85 years. Law offices, Trantolo & Trantolo, locations in Hartford, Waterbury, Bridgeport, New Haven, Torrington, and now a couple new ones in Long Island, New York, Melville, and Riverhead. So to get a hold of Trantolo & Trantolo, that are there for you 24/7, 844-999-9999. What team is the bigger Cinderella story heading into the division series?
I think the obvious answer is the New York Mets, just because, the doubleheader with the Braves.
Oh, the Tigers?
And they are the Mets, but I kind of like the Tigers, too, because name me 4 people from the Tigers. Like, that's still a question.
A.J. Hinch, Torkelson.
And you play
Mize,
baseball, and you watch this stuff
I don't know these guys.
Exactly.
I don't know who they are.
I know Tiger
we know
fans.
Javi Baez, but he ain't playing.
Right. I know Tiger fans that have not realized who's on this team. I know Tiger fans that might be waking up to the fact that they're in the
Rogers,
playoffs.
the catcher, because he looks older than the manager.
And we just found that out a couple of days ago.
That's right.
Like, there is not many people that you know on the Tigers.
No.
But then about the Royals. How about the Royals? Like, there's 2 players that we
I do know a lot of Royals because I have been ripping off Bally's games all years, watching the Royals because I love Bobby Witt Jr. My wife now loves Bobby Witt Jr.
Now,
so
that's
really,
the young star.
But yeah, you put a superstar, but you got Salvador Perez,
and
the
that's
last
the
one
old
from
star.
their World Series championship team. He's the old timer. But other than that, I mean, they got a lot of guys that Hampson, who played on the Rockies, we know him from the Yard Goats. They've got a lot of other guys that are just fantastic players, but they're role guys and have been for a long time.
Padres, I don't put into this conversation. I know they're the lower seed, but
stars galore.
They got
should
an all-star
be there.
team. Dodgers, Yankees in the same boat as well. How about the Cleveland Guardians?
I think they're a total underdog. We didn't talk about them all year. Those Naylor brothers. You got Ramirez.
J-Ram.
J-Ram's one of the best underrated players in the major leagues.
But
Nobody knows
the
about
pitcher.
They're
B.
Yeah, I mean they've got really good pitching that's constantly hurt though. Constantly hurt. And then Blase, who is their closer, is one of the best, most underrated closers in the major leagues. He keeps leading the league in saves every year. Nobody even knows who the hell the guy is.
Right. They will be having BB.
I think it's BB.
He'll be starting
Could
game
be Bibby.
1.
I know Henry Bibby.
And then you've got Gavin Williams and Ben Lively. And that's basically it, man. I'm not talking about – the other thing about the underdog tag, how much is Cleveland working with in payroll?
They're one of the lowest. Their highest paid guy is Ramirez at $9 million a year.
There you go.
That's your highest payroll dude on this team.
Like, I love the Mets story. I'll be rooting for the Mets. I do feel like they're underdogs. But when it comes to Cinderella, man, I'm leaning on my Guardians. I'm leaning on those Naylor brothers and that low-budget ball that Cleveland's throwing out there that's 190 plus
I love the Nailers because they're just intense and they get you into it all the time.
Oh, yeah, they're scary.
You've got Quan on that team that you love because he's constantly making stuff happen. But I think he's hurt right now.
Now he's ready to go.
I got
no red marks next
Stephen
to his
Kwan's
name.
in left field.
That's
right.
what's helped the Guardians is having this week to get right as far as getting all those guys off their IL.
But a lot of these other guys are kind of like young guys, like the Orioles, that are getting a chance to play.
Yeah.
Stephen Vaught, who is your manager that took over for Terry Francona.
Who?
Exactly. But he was a journeyman.
Oh, really?
He was a journeyman player. So that's, when you look at some of these guys, Quatraro, Mendoza, Rob Thompson, Schilt. A lot of them are students of the game. Terry Francona, who's coming back. This is a guy, like I just said, the first time I met Tito was sitting on the bench. Instead of getting ready for the game because he's still a player at that point, we'd gotten him from the Expos. He's talking to Pete. He's picking Pete's brain about the game. So I think certain guys are – like a Dave Roberts, Aaron Boone, I don't know. I don't really but I know Alex Cora is the type of guy that those guys are on the bench. They're talking baseball. They're lifers. That's the kind of guy you want running the team. You want that guy running the team. Listen, I have no gripes about Pat Murphy. He's a baseball lifer. Just because he spent a lot of time in college doesn't downgrade his genius as far as managing.
He's done a great job this year.
I thought he did an amazing job.
Yeah.
I know KK loves Dusty, but
I'm with him.
I felt for that guy.
Yeah.
You had everything down to a 2-0 lead with your closer in the game, one of the best closers in baseball, and the Mets beat him. There's just sometimes you can tip your hat.
Right.
Give the Mets the credit that they deserve. Give the Royals the credit that they deserve. The Tigers, they did the job, and that's baseball. Sometimes the better team, statistically or even financially, doesn't always win.
I've said that's baseball, Susan, probably 12 times in the last 3 days.
And last year, wild card team, Diamondbacks in the World Series.
Yeah, that's baseball, Susan.
Yep. I'm just happy the Astros are done.
Oh, I know. And Hinch knocked them out.
Bye-bye.
So perfect.
Bye-bye.
So perfect.
I know. Hinch went in there, redemption tour. Redeemed himself.
We'll see what happens, man. It's going to be a fun day tomorrow. Got all 4 going.
I can't wait. Who you got coming up next?